I was sealed inside an ancient golden bottle. When fishermen dredged me up from the ocean floor, I was covered in moss and unrecognizable. They mistook me for a rock and tossed me carelessly onto a pile of sand. Later, someone picked me up to use as a pestle for grinding medicine. I changed hands again, ending up with laborers, and was eventually shoved into a gap in the city wall. A century of war took its toll, and the stones in the wall began to loosen. Every day, a slave girl would sneak up the wall just to catch a glimpse of the prince she secretly loved. A loose stone suddenly crumbled, and the golden bottle that concealed me was finally exposed to daylight. Thrilled, the girl brought the bottle home. While cleaning its surface with a steel pick, she accidentally chipped the opening, and I was released. My grotesque appearance frightened her into unconsciousness. I used magic to revive her and promised to grant her 3 wishes. Her first wish was to marry the prince. I secreted enchanted oil from my fingertips for her to rub all over her body, then whispered her name into the prince's ear. The moment he laid eyes on her, he was utterly captivated. She became his princess, just as she'd hoped. I warned her to hide the golden bottle. If she didn't, all her wishes would be undone. But a coup soon erupted in the royal court, and the prince was framed and killed. The girl was captured while trying to flee, stuffed into a burlap sack and thrown into the deep sea. By the time I reached her, she had already drowned. Since she never spoke her third wish, my curse remained unbroken, and I was sealed once more into the lightless bottle. Over the next several hundred years, dynasties rose and fell. Then a young boy appeared, bringing me a glimmer of hope for rescue. One day, he wandered into an abandoned courtyard and noticed a hollow echo beneath a stone slab. He called his brother over to help pry it open, but even with both of them straining, the slab wouldn't budge. Just then, their mother appeared and stopped them. I had missed my chance again. I watched this dynasty's rise and fall with my own eyes. The boy inherited the throne at 11 and led his armies into battle at 19. Years of slaughter turned him bloodthirsty. He never removed his blood-soaked battle robes. His mother resolved to destroy this god of war. She plied him with wine daily until he was perpetually drunk, then summoned storytellers to distract him with pleasures. Year after year, the king's body withered, and his once fearsome blade gathered cobwebs. One day, in a daze, he sensed my summons and staggered to the courtyard. My heart soared. After a century of waiting, someone had finally responded. But he was so frail he couldn't even unlock the door before collapsing and dying on the spot. I sank back into despair. Time rolled on. A portly queen slipped while bathing in the courtyard and shattered the stone slab. I emerged once more, but she decided I was up to no good and made a vicious wish. Get back in that bottle and sink to the bottom of the sea forever. I was condemned to endure centuries more of loneliness, until one day a girl gutting a fresh fish discovered the golden bottle in its belly. Curious, she pulled out the cork, and a plume of black smoke burst forth. I was free at last.